Hello everyone and welcome to another Super Science video with the Massachusetts Regional Library. I'm Miss Stephanie, one of the librarians here in the Youth Services Department, and this month's experiment is we are going to make a paper plate maze. And while this is a really fun activity to design your own maze, it also shows us Newton's first law of motion in action. And this law states that if a body is at rest, it will stay at rest until acted on by a force. For example, we're going to use either a bead or marble to get through our maze. But if I hold it like this, nothing's going to move until I will be the force and act upon it by tilting the plate, and then it will move down. So in order to make your paper maze, this is kind of a little open-ended because you can choose how you exactly design your maze. To make the one that I just showed you, you'll need either a marble or a large bead if you don't have that at your place, a pair of scissors, some Elmer's glue, paper plate, a pencil, and then I used about 4 straws to make this, so 4 or 5 straws will do. And then if you, the rest of these are kind of optional. If you want to make your maze with curves, you could use pipe cleaners. You could decorate it with stickers. And to draw the lines, I had a hard time using a ruler, but index cards work really well too. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started in making our maze. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is we have our blank paper plate. I'm going to get these stars to mark where I'm going to have my beginning of the maze and the end. And you can just use a pencil to mark as well, but I thought it would be a little easier for you guys to see a sticker. So I'm going to have my maze start at the blue sticker over here, and then I'm going to have it end on the opposite end of the plate, marking it with my green sticker. And then the fun thing about this is you can use straight lines, you can use curves with the pipe cleaners I was telling you about. I'm going to do a straight line and just show you how I made my maze. It's going to look similar to the one that I showed you in the beginning. And if you have some trouble doing straight lines, a ruler was kind of hard to use on this paper plate. But what I'm going to do is use the index card to make some straight lines. So first, I'm going to draw a straight line right here by the starting point. I'm going to make it about this long. And I'm going to make a really simple maze to show you. And so we have that straight line right here. If you can't see it, there it is. And then I highly recommend that you draw out your maze before you glue the straws on, so that way you know how long or short to cut your straws. And then I'm going to turn it around, and we're going to do another one right here. That's going to be by that. It's going to be a really simple path. And then I'm going to do it on the other side, and you want to make it large enough for your marble or your bead to fit in. So I'm kind of using my bead as a guide so I know how long to make the path. Okay, so draw a straight line here. And then I'm going to draw the line for the end. And then, so here's the path we're going to do. And then the next thing is I'm going to do one of my straws. I'm going to place it down here, and as you can see, this is too long. So I'm going to trim it a little bit, and it is better to cut off not a lot than a lot, because you can always cut out more, but it's a lot hard. You can't really add on to the straw. So I'm going to do right here. And then it looks like it's long enough. And so what I'll do is I'll take my glue and I'll carefully put it on here and then put the straw down. And press it down for like maybe a few seconds to make sure it stays in place. All right. And then we'll do the same thing for the other 3 lines. I'm going to use this blue straw, and it's going to be shorter than the other one. So let's see. All right, I cut it. It's still too long. Let's try it again. And there we go. Oops. Press that down a little more. There we go. Yes, that should be long enough. And then actually, I'll go ahead and finish cutting the straws out. So let's see. Putting it up to the line to see how long or short I need to cut it. There we go. That's a good length. And then we'll finish up with this red straw. And I'm just making sure that it's big enough for the bead to go in. I keep checking that to make sure. Almost, not quite. Let's trim this one a little bit more. All right, there, that's better. So let me finish by gluing the other 3 straws. Glue one right here. Press it down, let it for a couple minutes. And I think I might have to add some more glue to the green one because it's not sticking very well. Let me go ahead and add that. There we go. And then add one right here. And like I said, just, you know, use pencil, because if you think you've made a mistake, you can always erase it and try again. Or even draw your design on another piece of paper completely before you actually do it for the maze. Okay, there we go. I need one more line of glue. All right. There we go. And a little more glue for this one. And then I would recommend letting it set for about an hour or 2, maybe even overnight, just to make sure it's really sturdy before you test it with your marble. And press it down. And that is a really basic path, but you guys can, of course, make more complicated ones. And since this is going to take a while to dry, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use it with the finished maze that I showed you guys earlier. All right, so to use your marble maze, I put my bead on the blue, which is going to be my starting area, and then I'm going to use Newton's first law of motion in action, and it's at rest right now, but I'm tilting it, and it's sliding down, and then I'm going to try to get it to the end. Oops, that's not the right one. So just keep tilting your plate. You can do things like time how fast it takes you to get a marble in, or even get like 2 or 3 in. Oh my. Oops, I made a mistake in my maze. I didn't make it big enough. So let me just, there we go. I had to move the bead a little bit. And then tilt it, and the gold is the end point. And there we go. I completed my marble maze. And I hope you guys think of a lot of fun and creative ways to make your own mazes. Alright, so I hope you guys had a lot of fun making your marble maze. And right now I'm going to show you a few books that I found as I was doing my research for this experiment. The first is called Games Around the World Marbles. And if you ever thought that marbles was a simple game, just trying to shoot a little small glass ball out of a ring, you should think again, because this book explores the complicated nature of this ancient game. It dated back thousands and thousands of years to ancient Rome and Egypt. And I learned so many new strategies for playing marbles when I was reading this book, like how exactly to use your fingers to shoot a marble. And there's like also many games. Here we go. Here's one of the ones that's showing you how to use your hands to shoot the marble in different ways. And then there's also basic marble games from all around the world. So check this out if you want to be a true Bibster, which is the term that they use for a master marble player. And I'm sure you will be after you read this book. And then even though we did make some amazing mazes with paper plates today, there are even way bigger mazes out there in the world. And one of these mazes is called a labyrinth. And in this retelling of the famous Greek myth, Theseus and the Minotaur, it tells about the Theseus, who is a Greek youth who is sent to the country of Crete as a prisoner to be fed to the Minotaur. But Theseus is clever, and he manages to trick the Minotaur. And to see how he does it, you'll have to read the book. But I just wanted to show you that these are great illustrations in here. It is a really fun retelling of this classic myth. And I would definitely recommend this for anyone who is interested in learning about mazes, Greek mythology, or both. Well, thank you for joining me for this super science video. If you'd like to try another experiment, check out the rest of our YouTube channel and the playlist of super science. Have a good day. Bye.